You're listening to Wiretap with Jonathan Goldstein on CBC Radio 1 and Sirius Satellite Radio 137. Today's episode, The Call-In Show.
Okay, and our next caller is Aaron in Goose Bay. Aaron, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
What's going on tonight?
Well, not too much. It's just sort of a regular evening. It's getting colder out.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nippy.
It is. And, yeah, I've just been finding it difficult to come to an understanding with my girlfriend. I'm actually not seeing her tonight. We're just sort of taking a night off, which I think is healthy, you know.
Yeah.
She just said that she was feeling that I was being a bit needy, and then maybe, just let's take the night off and see where that goes. I guess part of the reason I called in is just to check. I mean, I don't think I'm needy. I think that most of my...
Well, what's your girlfriend's name?
Suzanne.
And you and Suzanne live together?
No. I mean, I've been thinking about it, but I don't think we're quite ready.
Well, how long have you guys been going out?
Oh, for a while. We've been going out for it's been a while now. Coming up on an anniversary, actually. It's just over 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yep. I bought us matching sweaters,
Really?
I mean, I just thought they're really our style together.
Uh-huh.
She looks beautiful in it, and I just think it's sort of fun. It's sort of a fun thing. We can wear these kind of sweaters all over town.
Like you would wear these sweaters together at the same time?
Well, yeah, I just thought it'd be fun, like two peas in a pod, sort of. And we do other things, if we're in a restaurant, I like to sit on the same side of the booth with her.
So I'm sorry. When you go to a restaurant, you don't sit opposite each other?
No, well, I just don't like to have the table between us. It feels like I'm so far away from her. So it's nice to sit next to her.
When she says that she wants to just take a little break for an evening, don't you think, well, maybe this would be a good time to get together with my friends? Like play poker. And sort of, allow the absence to make your heart grow fonder? Well,
I mean, if my heart was any fonder, I'd be, hostilized. I love her so much. I don't. I mean, if you could see her, she's just beautiful. Look at her.
Darren, are you like flipping through a photo album or something as we're speaking?
No, I can't. No, I'm. What's she doing? No, I can see her. I'm actually,
You could see her in your mind?
No, I mean, I can see her. I don't know what she's doing. She seems to be, using the phone. I wonder who she's calling. That's weird.
Where are you?
I'm, in the back of her building. I'm just in this, tree.
Aaron, you're sitting in a tree?
Well, I'm not sitting. I don't wonder who she's talking to on the phone there. I'm sure it's no one. I'm sure she's not talking to anyone. But just the way that she, even when she's washing the dishes, she just has this touch, Suzanne touch, in everything she does. Just in the way that she kind of dries her hand on this filthy rag, and there she goes, and she's just the right amount of soap. I mean, she just knows.
How can you see so much? Are you holding binoculars?
Well, they're not like proper binoculars.
They're small binoculars.
Yeah. It's almost it's really freezing out here. I should probably Be careful here. It's a very long way down. Oh. Well, what I might do if I could find a way down is just go have a look. Just maybe have a closer look. She usually doesn't lock the place, so maybe I can just go see, make sure that she's okay and that she's...
Erin?
Maybe I can just kind of get her attention. Just...
Erin?
Suzanne?
Erin?
Suzanne!
Erin, I'm going to have to let you go. All right, on the line we have Bill from Montreal. Bill, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
You know, I should actually warn you that Bill is not my real name. I don't want to use my real name for personal reasons that I would prefer not to go into.
Okay, that's fine. Bill, I hope you're a normal guy, because the crazies have really been out tonight.
Oh,
I gotta
really?
tell you, yeah.
I know what you mean. The crazies always come. I think I'm the only normal guy out right now.
Is that so?
Yeah, I normally work. I don't work an all-night shift. I work a late night shift, and for reasons, unfortunate reasons, I've been forced to really frankly resign my position. I used to be a security guard at one of the downtown office towers, owned by a very prominent mutual fund and investment company. And if I said the name, you would know the name.
Okay.
And anyways, there were disagreements with my former supervisor, and I was forced to tender my resignation.
So, what you're telling me is that you were fired from your post?
Yes. Well, you say fired. I prefer to refer to it, think of it, as a mutually agreeable parting of the ways.
Oh, so you did you resigned?
I would have. Had I had the chance, I certainly would have.
Okay.
That was, certainly something that I would have gotten to. Yes, absolutely. Let's say I resigned. Let me just back up and give you some backstory that you need to know before we go any further in this, which is that I'm not just a guy who, when I go to my job as a security guard, I read, Archie comics. I have been reading and have been studying the investment scene, mutual funds, stocks, what have you, for years.
Okay.
I know how to read stock quotes, which most people, you probably don't know how to read. I know how to read stock quotes.
Yeah, I don't know how to read stock quotes.
So I just assumed that when I was able to get a position within this company, I would be able to somehow, put my expertise to use. So from time to time, there would be calls that would come downstairs that were meant to be routed up to the main receptionist on the 14th floor. Mm-hmm. And I saw an opportunity to put my expertise to use, and I gave some investment advice, some very good investment advice, to some clients.
And did they know that they were talking to the security guard at the building?
Well, they knew that they had reached a professional at the building they were calling. I might not have mentioned the security guard thing because that's not, I wasn't speaking to them in that context,
What actually were some of the financial suggestions that you were making to these clients of yours?
I mean, they were excellent. I mean, just between you and me, these were excellent suggestions. I mean, I'm very bullish on commodities. Everybody knows the equity market has gone in the toilet. What they don't know is that the commodities market is going through the roof. So there's one commodity in particular. It's not a very highly traded commodity, but it's one that I was and will be very bullish on, no matter how low it goes.
And what is that?
Back bacon. To be honest, it's actually back bacon futures.
Uh-huh.
And you play the futures market on back bacon. Listen, if anybody's ever had bacon, any of your listeners, this is a delicious food.
Uh-huh.
And everybody, who doesn't enjoy a little strip of bacon on a hamburger, or you have it with your, I don't know, you might have it on a muffin. You might have it with eggs. So,
muffin, yeah.
Unfortunately, though, what happened, and this is something that's way out of my control, it's this whole craze now about low fat and, the Atkins diet thing. Basically, the bottom has fallen out of back bacon. Back bacon right now has no bottom. What can I say? Life is about risk. Investment is risk. If people don't want to risk, they shouldn't. You shouldn't get out of bed in the morning.
And so, how many people were you speaking with a day?
At first, it was not a lot, because I was only speaking to people whose calls were bounced downstairs. What happens, though, is you build up a certain clientele. I had a lot of elderly people, to be honest, Jonathan. Some wonderful clients, some of them in rest homes. One person tells another person, and no, it was really, I had upwards of 24 clients.
Do you keep in touch with these people who have put their trust in you?
Listen, I would love to, but unfortunately, in this day and age, we have something called a court restraining order. Mm-hmm. And I would love to keep in contact with them, but right now there's a restraining order thing, and then I really can't. I have to keep within a certain number of yards, and I can't call them, and this and that, and it's you should never have to have the kind of headache I'm having now. I'm telling you, it's just awful.
And really, I mean, all you really wanted to do was
help people. Hey, that's exactly it. That's all I wanted to do was help people.
Well, I mean, have you thought of just What
do you suggest?
Selling insurance, maybe? People do well.
Would I have to go to school for that?
You might have to take some classes.
Yeah, well, insurance is, I mean, I know a little bit about insurance. It's, of course, the thing I really know, to be honest, it's the security guard thing. I mean, that was really, I got to be honest with you. I was really in the zone with the security guard stuff. It was really, it was really something I felt, I was in a comfort zone. I mean, it's actually kind of good that I called, because I think maybe I'm going to sort of take a step back and maybe rethink the whole thing, and probably, no, I think I should probably stick with the security guard thing. Should probably stick with the security guard thing.
Okay, good luck, Bill.
Okay.
Our next caller on the line is Shelley, calling from Montreal. Hi, Shelley.
Hi. Well, my thing is, the reason I'm calling is that, my son is 2.5, he's almost 3. Mm-hmm. And lately he's had this thing that I don't get. I really don't get, and I'm trying to understand it. He's afraid that his ZiZi will fall off.
Excuse me, his what?
His ZiZi. His ZiZi.
His ZiZi.
Yeah.
His ZiZi will fall off.
Yeah.
This is a male child?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's been happening for a few months now.
Just so we're entirely clear here,
yeah.
When you say ZiZi, you mean his penis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So his ZiZi, yes.
Yeah. And so he's afraid it'll fall off, and I have no idea where he got this idea, but I'm imagine that it must be causing him a lot of anxiety.
Has his ZiZi come under some kind of danger or? Well,
no, not particularly. I mean, I don't know where this came from. At first we thought, well, maybe he's got some sort of irritation or infection, but it's fine. I mean, we checked him out and he's fine. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, well, maybe it's something we said, but I can't imagine what I would have said that would make him think that it was going to fall off. We first discovered it, my husband discovered it actually when he was trying to change his diaper. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to, wipe them off, and all of a sudden, Tommy says, "No, don't wipe it. It might fall off." And they got into a conversation about it, and my husband tried to explain to him that no, it's not going to fall off. It's like your arms or your legs or whatever. You don't have to worry. And Tommy, it was funny. He wasn't panicked about it. He was just very matter of fact that no, it's if you're not careful, it might fall off. I was reading up in one of the sort of Your Baby and Child books.
Mm-hmm. Is there a chapter on ZiZi?
Falling off? No, there isn't, and that's the problem. But there was one reference in one of the books to, sometimes this can happen, little boys can worry about their ZiZis falling off when they sort of discover the difference between the sexes. Mm-hmm. And they assume that all women just, have lost theirs.
Oh, I see.
Except I've always been really careful, and I think my husband has too, of explaining, that it's just a difference. It's not that women and girls are lacking in something. They just have something different. So I think I've always been very careful about that. But, that is something that he's been very sort of obsessed with or interested in the differences between the sexes for the last few months. So it could be that. It could be toilet training related, too. For example, he won't wear underwear because he's afraid of his ZiZi falling off. He doesn't feel secure enough in the underwear. Mm-hmm. But whereas if he's wearing a diaper, I guess he feels nice and taped in and secure and padded, or I don't know. I'd really been trying to convince him that it's fine, that not to worry about it, that he's, like his dad's had one for a long time and it's never fallen off, and anybody who comes into the house who happens to have one, I ask them to put in a word, and explain to him that theirs hasn't fallen off.
So, Shelley, is there any way that I can help you with any of this? Well,
the weird thing is, lately, as I said, this has been going on for a few months now, and over the last, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks, I've started to get these dreams.
What kind of dreams?
Well, I'm in the kitchen, and I'm making supper or breakfast.
This is in your dream?
In my dream.
Right.
And everything is normal, everything is as it should be. The kitchen looks like the kitchen. I feel like myself. Everything is perfectly normal. There's no sort of menacing sense to the dream or anything. But then all of a sudden I do something very mundane. I grab, say, the tea canister to get some tea bags, and I open it up, and inside I see my finger, my pinky finger. And I look at my hands, and my fingers are all there, all accounted for.
If all your fingers are accounted for, why do you feel that it's your finger?
Well, I just know. It's just one of those feelings that you just know. It belongs to me. It's a part of me. But it's there, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I can't reattach it because there's no place for it to fit. But it's a part of me that's just kind of floating around. And in my dream, I never really quite know what to do with it. I sort of put it back and just try to ignore it. It's creepy because I know it's there, and I know it has to be dealt with, but I don't know what to do with it. Do you think that my dreams will go away once Tommy's anxiety goes away?
I think. Is this the first time that Tommy's ever voiced any kind of any sort of problem that you haven't just been able to immediately resolve and cure? With the changing of a diaper, or with food, or with beverage, or with sleepy time.
You know what? The only other horrible anxiety-causing thing that happened was when he lost his bear. Mm-hmm. But 2 weeks later, I was finally able to find a bear on the internet exactly like his old bear. But I was still able to solve that. So you know what? Yeah. This is the first time that it's beyond me.
Well, so this then has to be a a kind of significant rite of passage for you.
That makes a lot of sense. Because I can't control this. There's nothing I can do about it, really. I have no power over his imagination. Wow. Thanks.
Well, it's my pleasure, Shelley. Our next caller on the line, we have Madison calling from Winnipeg. Hi, Madison.
Hi. I love your show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I listen to it all the time.
Oh, well, it's nice to have you on board.
I didn't know if I was going to call because I don't know if you could help me with my problem.
Well, I could try.
Well, the problem is I don't have a boyfriend.
Oh, well, how old are you, Madison?
15.
Oh, well, I mean, you're still really young.
I've never had any boy like me at all. Nothing. I don't know. They just don't seem to like me.
Well, boys can be pretty shy at that age,
Really? But everyone else in my school has had a boyfriend.
Do you have any extracurricular activities that you belong to?
No, I don't really have that many friends. They think I'm really weird. I think they're afraid of me.
Afraid of you? Well, I don't find you weird. I don't feel afraid of you.
That's because you can't see me.
I mean, as someone who spends a lot of time in the radio studio talking to people over the phone, I feel like looks can be really distracting. And sometimes just hearing someone's voice and talking to them could give you a more clear and unobstructed view of their soul. And I don't find you scary or weird at all.
You would if you saw me.
Well, why do you say that?
Because... I don't know, because I was born without a nose. It's really rare. But I don't have a nose. There's no nose. Nothing. It's just like this hole on my face. And everyone thinks it's really scary. It's been like this all my life, and, I've had to deal with it. But recently it's gotten really bad because I just found out I had to get glasses.
Uh-huh.
And I can't put them on my face. There's nowhere to put them. They just slide. There's no nose, so I can't really talk because my glasses keep sliding in my mouth and down my face, and I can't see anything. And I just can't take it anymore. I can't believe I can't even wear my glasses, and it You are such a sucker. I can't believe. You're just probably eating this up right now, aren't you?
Madison.
You're pathetic.
Madison, you've made this up?
Of course I made it up. Who doesn't have a nose? What are you talking? What are you just listening? You think I'm going to call you? How would I talk if I didn't have a nose? Well, how would my voice sound like this if I didn't have a nose? You wanted to hear this, so you said just why you went into the business. You were just waiting for some girl without a nose to call you up and talk to you about boys not liking her. What were you going to tell me next? You're going to talk more about my extracurricular activities?
Madison, I don't think that's very funny. There's people that listen to the show and care about the people that are calling in, and you don't have a right to manipulate their emotions like that. Okay, Madison, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, well, no, wait, you can't cut me off. Oh, wait, I got a real problem to talk about. Don't cut me off.
Okay, Madison, is your name actually Madison?
Yes.
It is Madison.
Yes.
And you're 15?
Yes. But I have a nose.
And you have a problem? A real problem?
Yes.
Why should I believe you?
Because I do. Because you're trying to help people. That's why you have your show, right? So I have a problem. Do you want to hear it or what?
I'm going to give you 10 seconds to put a real problem on the table right now. Otherwise, I'm cutting you off.
Well, you give me an ultimatum?
I'm going to give you another chance.
Okay. Me and my mom. Okay? We have a big problem between me and my mom. Okay? Because the thing is, I'm dating this guy, and she thinks that he's she thinks he's a loser, and she doesn't approve of him. She doesn't think that he's doing anything, and he dropped out of high school. He doesn't have a job, and she thinks that he's I don't know. She thinks he's not good enough for me or something. But it's totally ridiculous.
Well, how old is this guy?
23.
Well, Madison, if my 15-year-old daughter were dating an unemployed 23-year-old, I would be concerned also.
That's your advice? That's your advice. That's what you're giving me. You didn't even hear me out. You didn't even, want to know what the guy's name is, what kind of music he likes, what kind of car he wants to get one day. You don't ask me anything. All you do is immediately jump to my mom.
All right, what is this guy's name?
Wallace.
His name is Wallace.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And has Wallace met your mother? Has he met your parents? Does it concern him that your mother's not too crazy about him?
Well, I tried to bring him by once. My mom, totally chased him out of the house. She had this baseball bat. She was, running after him. He couldn't even come over.
I mean, how does Wallace come across?
I think he's totally hot.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he comes across hot. This guy is Wallace is, the best. He still hangs out at high school all the time. He's always hanging out at high school. That's how I met him. He was hanging out in our high school parking lot one day, and I thought it was so cool how much older he was, but he still liked to hang out with high schoolers. I love that. I think my mom's just jealous anyway.
Well, why do you think that?
Because I have true love, and she doesn't.
You don't think that your mother has true love?
No.
Why is that?
Because.
Because why?
Because my dad left me. My dad left us when I was just a little baby.
Oh, I'm sorry, Madison.
I'm sorry, Madison. I'm sorry. Did your daddy leave you? It's Madison. I'm
okay,
sorry.
that Madison.
I'm perv.
All right, that's it. Okay, all right, you're off the air. You're off the air. Okay, all right, goodbye. Over.
On Wiretap today, you heard Erin Fitt, Shaun Goldwater, Shelley X, and Starlee Kine. Wiretap is written and performed by Jonathan Goldstein and produced by Jonathan Goldstein with Sarah Gilbert and Carolyn Warren. You can reach us at cbc.ca/wiretap.